Nursery. And, you know, you guys are valuable in our children's program, our youth program. Could not work without all of you here. So don't think that we take for granted your time and your effort, because we really, really, really appreciate you. And if you've ever had to sit down with Barb or Pastor Matthew and create that schedule, it is a little daunting. So you're really, really important to what happens. And like Pastor Matthew says, we're not trying to add extra things on to you, but really because as we want to grow in our discipleship path, it's so that we can make more disciples. As we're living in the light of the gospel, we want to move up in our level of excellence in serving the Lord. Wouldn't you agree that that's a good thing for us to do? So some of this stuff you've heard all over again, and it's really a reinforcement, so it'll go really fast. But number one, please check your emails, because if you hadn't figured it out, you're going to be getting a lot of emails from me. Like this notice was sent out via email. It would be church team, so maybe it's not an email you recognize, but please, that's how I'm going to be communicating with you, mostly email. So please check your email. And some people that I talk to, it may go to their spam. So make sure you check and let us know if you're not getting it, so that Barb and I can make sure that we resend it to you. So the volunteer, some of you who've been here even longer than me, have received volunteer policies from Jen maybe a year and a half ago. I'm going to re-email those because I put my phone number on them. But things to remember about that is that I know that y'all know this. I'm just reminding you, we really do not want to have any snacks in the classroom. A cup of water is fine, but we at Wednesday night they're eating dinner, and on Sunday morning it's just an hour. So and most parents want their kids to eat lunch. So when they're filling up on snacks, they're less likely to do that. So please, I know we comfort with food. My family comforts with food, but we just want to keep it down to the water. And I'm going to say that the McCoys usually run late, although I want you to know I was here really early today. But on Sunday morning, we really need you back there by 10 o'clock, because parents are already coming to drop their kids off. And I'd be the first to say that was like God is stretching me with 9 o'clock grow group class. So yeah, I understand things happen, and yeah, kids get ready, but be in there by 10 o'clock, please. Particularly now with the cold season coming on, little kids like to put things in their mouth. They have runny noses. Please take the time. I know by the time nursery's over, you want to get going, but wipe down the toys so that we can stop germs. We had 7 kids back there today, and they were all feeding each other. They were sitting at the bench, and there was lots of plastic spoons going in the mouth, and all I thought was, ugh. So I really got those wipes. So I was like, come on, no. So yes, please take time to wipe. And I know also with 7 kids or more, if we could do a quick diaper check beforehand, that would be greatly appreciated, and a little pull-up check to make sure that they're clean, because we want our kids to be well cared for. Pastor Matthew and I are working on really tightening up our volunteer management system. And part of that is volunteer agreements. And they're right now being formulated. So you're going to be getting a volunteer agreement that will have a list of expectations that we're going to ask you to sign as volunteers, saying that you're agreeing to those expectations. And probably a lot of them are going to be in line with the policies, but some things to think about is the designation between who is a lead teacher and an assistant teacher. A lead teacher sort of has the expectation that they're going to be part consistently of a grow or send or a life group. Because how can we teach our children a about growing in Christ if we ourselves aren't getting fed with the Word of God. Versus an assistant teacher, it is highly recommended that they attend one of those groups. But in order to be in leadership, we're expecting you to be willing to be good followers and live in light of the gospel of Jesus Christ and to be a part of a study group. Does anybody have a problem with that? Great. Okay, and another little change that's going to happen the fifth Sunday of the months that have a fifth Sunday, like September and 2 or 3 weeks, kids will not be going to nursery, but they won't be going to children's church. They will sit in the service with their parents, and because our kids are learning a lot, thanks to your excellent work, kids are going to be giving a presentation, a song, something that shows what they're learning. So, I'm sort of going to coordinate that, but I'm really open for people who may have something. I know Jan has lots of great things that she's done, like the Easter program last year in her classroom. So we can do some of those things. But right now, in September, we're going to be singing Fishers of Men. Are y'all familiar with that song? I will make you fishers of men, fishers of men, fishers of men. I'd be happy to share that with you. And I have been doing children's church a lot lately. So that class knows it, but I'm asking you, I know you're very busy, but between now and the fifth Sunday, and Wednesday nights, if you could just sing the song at least once, because I'd like other kids to be able to join in. And for those who are teaching the next 2 weeks, if you could put that on part of the classroom time in children's church, just so the kids will keep being familiar with the song, so that our kids can be up there together. Is that okay?
Two quick questions on that. You do a verse, I don't know. Can you put I have children's church next week. I don't know a verse that you do, so how would I teach that? The other thing is this just children ages 3 through 2nd grade, because they're the ones in children's church? Like, I wouldn't do that with my class on Wednesday night, the 3rd through 5th graders, correct?
Did you say correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. So those are my 2 questions. But if you can send the lyrics or the song or whatever it's going to be, like, to the people that are doing children's church, that would be helpful too.
I'd be happy to do that, so check your emails.
I will.
Okay, great. So that's wonderful. Then last week in children's church, there's a lesson starting about talking about the birth of Jesus, and Gabriel comes to the angel Gabriel comes to talk to Mary, and there is a poem with motions. Jan and I did this in our class. That's what we're planning on doing for the Christmas Sunday. So we'll just kind of, I'll send that out again, but just know that we'll be going over that between now and December, so the kids. But we're having it December, the Sunday beforehand. It's scheduled, right?
So you're doing the 4th Sunday that month?
We have it already scheduled the Sunday beforehand. Okay. Now, in terms of the children's church, just some quick tips. There's not really a memory verse in the curriculum, but what I do is I create a memory verse from the scripture. And we just want our memory verses to be long enough to challenge them, but short enough that they can remember them. Does that make sense? So, other things as I've observed over the last 6 months, we want to incorporate, if possible, really utilizing the curriculum. The puppets are great. The kids love the puppets. We have them. Please use them. And utilize your helper. Now, my kids tend to come in with me when I'm doing children's church. So I've got 2 teenagers too. I kind of told them, so they really don't have much of a choice. But when Liz and all those teenagers, young men and women are giving of their time, they can do more than just sit there. Thank you, baby. They are highly talented and really knowledgeable in the Bible. They can do more than just sit there and pass out crayons. This is their opportunity to be training. They can do the skits that are part of the curriculum. They can do, sometimes Tristan and I had a big group, so we split them up, and Liz will go with her while she goes with the preschoolers. They are highly trained, highly functioning teenagers, so utilize them. I try to create an agenda with my partner and with the team, so everybody already knows before they come into class, you're going to be doing this and that. So I would just encourage you to kind of do that. And I am positive that everyone here already does this, but I spend at least 2 hours prepping for my class. And so that it is really well planned and prepped. There's lots of cutout things to do. So it's more than just adding a color sheet. We want our children to have the best Christian education possible. So I encourage you to really take the time, maybe even look a week ahead of 2 before your classroom is there so that you're really getting the best. And to that extent, please, if you're using the curriculum, we really don't have time to go outside. And I know that some classes have been going outside, but we have like 45 minutes once kids kind of get in there. And if we're really using the curriculum to the fullest capacity, you have more than enough material to teach them. So we really don't have time to go outside. So let's kind of extract that from our classroom activities. Is that okay? And I think with safety issues, it's probably just as well that we know that we're in one designated place. Because we're beginning to live in the light of the gospel, I've seen some of you do really awesome jobs at extending an invitation to Christ. And we just want to make sure that everyone is incorporating the message of the gospel of salvation, but going that step beyond and asking them, would you like to know more about accepting Jesus in your heart? I've seen a few of you really do a great job of that, and we had a chance in our classroom to ask a young man. We asked in general, and he said he wanted to, and then Trisha just said, would you like to go with me now and talk about it, or just wait for mom and dad? He says, wait for mom and dad. Then she just went and talked to the parents. But we want to let, I was like 7 when I was extended the invitation to Christ. So kids are not too young to accept Jesus into their heart. We want to, you have not because you asked not, and we want to ask them, right? And then the last thing, so I'm really doing good. The last thing is that as I anticipate that God is about to do really great explosive things here. And we're about to have all kind of fruit from the seeds that are being planted. And with that, we're going to have different people that are unchurched people, different nationalities, all kind of different people. And we want to become more intentional about inclusiveness. And here, our language is kind of a dualistic language. For example, if I say up, what comes to your mind? What word comes to your mind?
Up will.
Words.
Words, I don't know, Jackie, so you're going to explain.
Well, most often, if you think up, you think down. If you think black, you think white. If you think day, you think night. Because even in classrooms, when kids are little, we do opposites. We start incorporating that in our language. And then we start giving connotations to different words. And in my experience, I've learned that words are so powerful, they can seep down into our psyche and our hearts. We want to be very cognizant about what we're saying, particularly with the colors black and white. For example, there is the bracelet or the the colors of salvation that we often use. And what usually happens is black is bad, evil, sinful, and white is pure and good. Well, we have people from different nationalities. Well, we're telling someone who is a black or brown child that black is bad and evil, right? And what we're saying is that white is good. And we want to get away from those kind of designations so that we have an inclusive community where people don't begin to associate their skin tones or their race with what is good or bad, right? So we can be just creative and just thoughtful and intentional about that.
Jackie, you want to give an example? You didn't give a meaning example. You want to give an example as to how you can do something like the bracelet, but be more inclusive.
So instead of saying that white is purity, we can use gold or yellow. When I think of heaven, I immediately think of light. I think of brightness. And to me, the brightest color around is yellow. I love yellow. Yellow is my favorite color. Instead of saying black is evil or sinful, you can use blue, because we already associate with you're feeling sad, you feel blue. And if you're full of sin, there's sadness in your life. So we can be creative in ways that, just think about being intentionally inclusive. Any questions, thoughts, comments about anything? Okay, because you guys are the experts already. All right, well, Pastor Matthew, do you have anything else?
Just thank you, everyone, for just your willingness to teach and to serve. And obviously we've been able to see over the last year and a half, just some visible fruits of that labor, just baptizing some of these kids. And Dan shared just from Bible Club that some of the people that trusted in Jesus there, and we've just seen a lot of growth. I know Carolyn and Becky and Jason did that growth once the kids get into junior high and high school. And so thank you for the work that you guys are doing. We pray that this training would help you do it better, not only to help keep our kids safe, physically safe, but then also help them to trust in Jesus and grow in Jesus. And we pray that this will help you. So we want to come alongside you guys the best we can. And so if there's something that you guys don't have in the classroom, I know Grace was mentioning today that she went in there and the puppets were gone. So we need to.
Did we find them?
Yeah. So
we could use the puppets, but we couldn't find them.
So we need to track down the puppets. We need to track down where the windshield cranks or the window cranks are. But obviously there's other things that I feel like we could probably do to come alongside you guys to help get the message of Jesus across, and we want to do the best we can to come alongside.
We are the puppet stealers. They're in my classroom.
I thought she lived in there.
Right next to you.
One other thing, I mentioned this before, that it's trying to get more people to do stuff. Like, children have changed a lot, and some of us that either have younger children or around children in schools have learned techniques for classroom management. Other people, some of our older people that I think have dropped out because they are so overwhelmed with the kids. We really need to get some of our educators, like Becky and Shannon and Carrie, that know teaching techniques and stuff, and maybe offer a class for people. It's like, are you interested in children's ministry, but you don't know how you would deal with kids? Come and learn, and even those of us that work with them would be able to learn techniques for managing, ways to, fun ways to get attention, capiche, kaposh, responsive things like that we would be able to use consistently, and maybe encourage people like, hey, if you're afraid to deal with kids, come and learn how, and then we'll pair you up with somebody that's comfortable with this so that you can learn. That would, I think, might be a way to get people to come back in. But it would also benefit all of us, because if we're, children's church is somebody different every week, and so we all have different formats, which is good in some ways, but also for the kids, maybe sometimes the inconsistency is hard for some of them to deal with.
And I'm really glad you brought that up, because I know that since I've been in the last month and a half been there more consistently, kids are kind of used to, oh, Miss Jackie's way of doing things now.
Right.
And so we might just want to have kind of that round table, sharing of best practices, brainstorming about how to make things more consistent between all of us.
Is there a way that we can keep kids in a room without them going off and running off and stuff?
Well, her question was, is there a way to keep kids in the room without them running off? And I think that's what Jan is saying. If we can get together and share some of those classroom management techniques, that might help. I personally haven't had a kid.
Because today we have kids that were running out constantly.
Right. That's when they were waiting for parents.
When they were waiting.
Oh.
The parents are going to be coming, and so they're at the door.
And I think, between Jan and I and some others, we might share tips to help everyone kind of figure those things out. So I'm very happy to schedule that. If y'all are happy to have sub sandwiches again another time.
I just know that that's the way that I first started dealing with kids, like way back when I was a new believer, is that they had a training class. Because I was a single person, I had no kids, I was new in Christ, and because I went there and they taught us how to teach kids, how to use their language, it's like, that's the way that I first started getting into, because otherwise I would have never, ever thought of doing that, because I didn't have kids of my own, I didn't know how to deal with kids, and so that thing actually kind of pushed me into teaching 3 and 4-year-olds. Oh my gosh, y'all are saints to do that.
You are. Okay, any other suggestions or needs? Okay, then Pastor Matthew, do you want to close in prayer?
Love to. God, we thank you so much for the God that you are, that you're a God who teaches us, you're a God who helps us grow in Jesus. And Father, we pray that you would continue to do that, that for everyone here, that this would be a church not only where they serve, but Father, where they grow in you. And so Father, would you continue that work? And Father, we pray that your Spirit would continue to work us to teach and to equip, train and disciple these young kids that you've entrusted us with. Father, we thank you for every single one of them. We would not be the same church without them. And so, Father, we thank you for the joy that we have, for the opportunity we have. And Father, we pray that you would work in us to be faithful. Father, would you just give great joy to all of the individuals who are serving in this area of ministry. Father, would you build just a great team amongst us, Father, that we would realize we're all trying to help these kids and these youth live in light of the gospel. And Father, would you do your incredible work